episode 1 of Must Be the Bourbon Talking here on the Fishtacklers channel. I'm Fishtacklers Rick. I'll be your host for today. And today's sponsor, not really sponsor, but today's bourbon is a nicely aged 10-year-old bottle of Eagle Rare. We're going to take a little sip of the Eagle Rare here to start the program. I don't know, sniffing 10-year-old things might get you in trouble. I'm not sure, but if it's okay for the leader of the free world, I guess it's okay for me. That's a pretty good bourbon. As I said, it's a 10-year-old Eagle Rare. When and if we do further episodes of this little get-together, there'll be a variety of bourbons featured in them. Thought I'd start with this one just because it's one that I happen to like a lot. Not real expensive. It is an affordable product for anybody who would like to try some bourbon out. So let's get this thing rolling. As I said, it's episode 1. It is on the Fishtacklers channel. And for those of you who've been following my videos, I do a little bit of fishing. I've got some hunting coming up this fall. And whatever tickles my fancy, I guess, is what we're going to do with this show and with Fishtacklers in general. So today I said I'd like to introduce myself a little bit. Born and raised in the Great Lakes area, Michigan, Wisconsin. Lived in that area most of my life. Moved down here to the Alabama Gulf Coast about almost exactly a year ago. And decided I'd do a little fishing, and as long as I was fishing, I'd do a little filming. So I've been fishing most of my life, all of my life, I guess. Started trout fishing with my dad when I was very young. Spent a lot of time on the Great Lakes area, on inland lakes and on the Great Lakes, fishing walleye, primarily, some bass, crappies, all that good stuff. And came down here, decided I'd keep that going in retirement, and so that's what we're going to do. So, episode 1 is going to, as I said, just talk a little bit about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and feature the bourbon. And who knows, depending on how long the episode lasts, the bourbon may come into play. That is a very smooth bourbon. Very, very likable bourbon. So what we're going to do today is give you a little tour of the facility here. The massive complex of about 150 square feet where I do my editing and so forth for these videos. And this is also where I produce the Fishtacklers Pompano Rigs. And we're going to have an announcement a little bit later about the Pompano Rigs and where you'll be able to purchase them. And pretty excited about that. Hopefully, like I said, this video will be continued on. We may have some guests from time to time if anybody's willing to come on this little thing. And if not, well, then we'll just ramble on like we are right now. If anybody wants to have any particular topics discussed, leave a comment below, and we'll certainly entertain them. So I guess that's kind of good for an opener. We'll go to a little tour of the place, and then after the tour of the place, we'll make the announcement on where you can pick up some Fishtacklers Pompano Rigs. And excuse me, and here we are at the entrance to the Fishtacklers production facility, also known by the one and only employee, myself, as the Fishtacklers Fishing Hole. It's about 150 square feet. This is where we put together the Fishtacklers Pompano Rigs and do the production and editing of the Fishtacklers videos. So we'll take a walk on inside and give you the quick tour of this facility. It won't take long. It's like I said, about 150 square feet, give or take. So here we are inside the facility. As you can see, there's a lot of storage, tools, fishing stuff. There's the command center desk where the editing is done. Of course, you got to have a fridge because just have to. And this is where we'll be doing most of the editing and video. And occasionally we'll be doing an episode of the series that we're going to try to put together called Must Be the Bourbon Talking. And we'll get into that a little bit more later. Okay, here we are at Goin Fishin Bait and Tackle on Lillian Highway here in Pensacola. Gonna take a walk inside, pick up some fish gum, and take a look around on the shelf for a little bit. So we'll see you when we get back inside. Thanks. Okay, so here we are in Goin Fishin. Gonna take a little walk through and see what's on the shelf. Oh, and look, down here we have some Fishtacklers Pompano Rigs in stock. Yes, you can now get Fishtacklers Pompano Rigs at Goin Fishin on Lillian Highway here in Pensacola, along with all your other supplies you need to have a successful fishing trip. Yeah, and even a little beer if you need a little refreshment while you're out there on the water. So come on in to Goin Fishin and pick up all your supplies. Okay, yes, as you can see from the video, Fishtacklers Pompano Rigs are available at the Goin Fishin Bait and Tackle store on Lillian Highway. It's right on the Florida side of Perdido Bay. I live on the Alabama side of Perdido Bay, just a few minutes from there, so it was a logical place to try to sell some of them. Great little store, got everything you need to get going on your fishing trip. If you're using any of the boat launches up on Perdido Bay, it's convenient for you to get your items there. I'll put in my description down below, I'll put the address, phone number, store hours, and a link to their website, Facebook page, all that good stuff. And if you do happen to pick up some Fishtacklers Pompano Rigs, try them out. Let me know what you think. I'd appreciate the feedback. All right, one of the things we're going to try to do on this little episode of Must Be the Bourbon Talking is talk a little bit about the bourbons. And so, as I said today, we're drinking a little bit of Eagle Rare. Eagle Rare has been around since I think the mid 70s. It started out as a 101 proof kind of multi-batch product, kind of okay, not great. Was sold off in the early 2000s, sold off in, I believe, the late 80s, and then in the early 2000s it became a single barrel product. It's available in 10-year and 17-year versions. Both are very good. It's currently produced at the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky, along with Buffalo Trace and a couple of other brands. It's a really good, smooth product. Not real high in rye. I like my bourbons a little smoother. I'm not the real high rye kind of bourbon drinker, so this one suits me just fine. It's moderately priced. I'm a retired guy on a limited fixed income, so you know, not that I'm opposed to high dollar bourbons, but I try to kind of find ones that are more affordable, that a guy who just wants to sip a bourbon now and then and enjoy it can afford without you know, mortgaging his house. So Eagle Rare is today's bourbon. It's available. It's kind of hard to get right now. It's pretty popular, but you can find it in some liquor stores if you look for it. I do recommend it. It's a good little bourbon. So I think I'll take another sip and we'll end this segment. I'd like to give a little shout out to the content creators that kind of inspired me to start doing this. By way of a little history, it started, surprisingly enough, watching Jimmy Houston. Watched his TV show off and on over the years and started watching him a little bit on YouTube. And one day he had a guest on, and that guest was Richard Jean, the Fishing Machine. And Richard Jean is gentleman who lives up in North Alabama, fishes on the Tennessee River in that area, has great video content, very knowledgeable guy, very good fisherman, and very entertaining. He's a fun guy to watch. So I started watching Richard Jean, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a point where he had just mentioned if another guy to check out would down on the coast would be Bama Beach Bum. I'm pretty sure that's where I got Bama Beach Bum from, was Richard Jean, but I'm not positive of that. But anyway, somehow I managed to get to Bama Beach Bum, started watching his videos. His videos left me to the clickbaiters, Angler Up with Brant, Bearded Brad, and Cameraman Ron. And those guys all do great videos. They're all fun. They're all entertaining. And they're all a little bit different. And then also kind of give it a little shout out to Yak Motley. His videos are also kind of part of that group. Anyway, all those guys kind of were my inspiration to give this a shot. I was watching their videos primarily to get fishing information on the Gulf Coast. We had decided to move here about 1.5 years ago, and I had no idea how to fish here, still don't. And thought, well, a good way to do it would be to start watching some videos and see how it's done. So again, thanks to all those guys for inspiring me to do this, but thanks especially to Richard Jean. He was the guy that really got me motivated to give this a go. So, and I recommend that you watch any of their channels. They're all great guys, and they do great content. Well, we're at the end of another episode, or the initial episode of Must Be the Bourbon Talking, and coincidentally, we're about at the end of the bourbon. A couple last thoughts are, if any of you have a favorite bourbon you'd like to share, please put it down in the comments. And for the Karens out there who might stumble onto this video that are concerned that I may have a drinking problem, yes, I do. Occasionally I run out of bourbon and or money, and that is a serious problem. So once again, thanks a lot for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you can, subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you on the next episode of Must Be the Bourbon Talk. Thank you very much.